Hello, I'm Sam. Thanks for joining me today. This webinar is going to be looking at the types of integrations that are available with Koha. So as you can see from this very extensive list, there are a lot of things that we could talk about when we're discussing integrations. These are all the possible ones that we have experience of here at PTFS Europe, but the ones that are in bold are the ones that I am going to try to cover today. So let's begin. So the first one that I'm going to highlight here is self-issue, sorters, your RFID, your security gates, that sort of technical equipment that you would have in the library. We have good relationships with a lot of these companies, DTech, Linksgo in particular. So we're able to deal directly with them when we're doing your integration to make sure that the process is smooth. These are usually done by SIP2, but we can do it by the app if you prefer. So yeah, we sort all that out when you join us as a customer. We'll make those links and make sure that all those items work for you. Moving on now, let's have a little look at interactive maps. And I have an example of this to show you just now. Hopefully you can see this screen. This is one of our customers, the European Southern Observatory. And what I wanted to show you here is an integration that is showing, this is their OPAC. As you can see, this is the one that we provide for them. This is Koha. And down below, they've got this lovely set of interactive maps that when you hover over the particular topic you would like to see, it shows you where in the library you will find those topics, which is really nice. So that's interactive maps. Next, I'll talk about EDI and your book suppliers, your resource suppliers. And this can be for electronic or it can be for physical books. It's quite difficult actually to show these in action, obviously, because on the most case, when it's for physical items in particular, these connections by EDI are set up by us in your system, but very difficult to see in the actual front-facing OPAC of the Koha. However, we can see this happening with things like Libby. So I've got a little example here for BorrowBox and Libby. This would apply. So these are like electronic connections to borrowing facilities, basically, that you subscribe to. And as you can see on this particular customer here, you can select BorrowBox or Libby, and these are integrations which are active on their Koha. I'm not going to click because obviously that will require some kind of password or login, which I don't have. So that's East Dunbartonshire, one of our customers. So moving on. Import of user records. This is more important for our educational, our academic libraries. They often require their intake of students to come through to the library system, which would save them a lot of time in enrolling all the new students. And we can set this up as an overnight process, usually by just a simple transfer of a CSV file, but we can do it via an API connector if you prefer that. Some institutions prefer that for security reasons. And what's interesting here is that you can select what data is coming through from that download. And it should obviously, for GDPR reasons, only be the information that you strictly need to perform the service for your users. So that's another integration we often perform for our customers. Next, let's look at discovery and engagement. So we do a lot of this for our academic customers, joining up a discovery service or an engagement platform, which allows them to bring through many more of their subscriptions as well as their OPAC into one place. So I've got some examples here of the two ways that that can happen. You can either have your Koha OPAC as your portal, and then within the search, it will actually search your discovery too. Or you can have your discovery portal as your front-facing platform, and your Koha will be pulled through as your library records in a search. So the first one I'm going to show you is actually UAL, and they use the Koha OPAC as their front-facing portal. As we're going through as well, you'll notice that all my examples look extremely different, and that is one of the advantages of Koha. You can make it look however you like. So this is UAL, and they actually have all of their catalogue, plus their discovery, plus their journals and their other subscriptions all coming through to the one search. And this will allow them to also search their discovery at the same time. Another example I've got here is the Discovery First. This is one of our customers, the Manchester College. And in this case, the library search is actually doing the discovery, which is EBSCO EDS in this case, the discovery first, but pulling through the Koha results into the results table as well. So again, it's got no bearing on how the interface can look. It can look however you like, but there are two approaches there. We've also got things, particularly for public libraries, they might prefer to have a different app, which is the front portal for their users. And a well-known one for this is Solus. And I've got an example here from St. Helens, and they actually use Solus as their front portal. But when you search, it will search Koha too. So these are all things that we can integrate for you. And you'll see here that the Solus library app is something available to their users to download there. So that's discovery and engagement. Now, let's have a look at payment systems. Now, again, this is something I can't really show you in practice. The reason being, obviously, that these are behind firewalls. They are something that you would only want your authorized persons to have access to. But we can do full integrations to finance systems. And these would then, for instance, put in order numbers when you are making an acquisition. And this might be direct via EDI to your supplier. So that makes your life a lot easier, everything integrated. It's going straight then through to your finance system so that they've got the correct, you've got the correct PO and etc. associated with that acquisition. And these usually have to be bespoke. So even if we have done Aggresso before, we have done it many times, because of your local settings in terms of the format of your order numbers and so on will be different, we have to do it as bespoke every time. So this always takes at least 3 days of kind of integration time to do that for you. A lot easier, however, is the card payments and the online payment systems. These are just done by an easy API connector and can be sorted really quickly. Again, I can't really show you any of those in action because often if you do find, it would only be for a registered user that is logged in that would see that as an opportunity to pay. A little bit on reading list software. We particularly have done a lot of integrations with Talis and Cortex key links. I'm just going to give you an example of a Talis one. This is our customer Ravensbourne, and their particular catalogue is also linked to a reading list system. And you can see that this appears, or this isn't a particular OPAC record for this individual item. And you can see that it tells you which reading list that it appears in here at the bottom of the actual catalogue record. If you were to click on these particular reading list connectors as well, it opens up the full reading list for you to survey the other things that are on that list. And you can then direct click back into the catalogue record. Similar for key links, we've done the same for those. And these are all set up for you as part of your integration, or if you get them later on, again, it would probably be about 3 days work to get those integrated for you. Next, let's talk about VLEs, and these are virtual learning environments, usually for our academic customers. And really what's available here as far as Koha is concerned is that you can use a Koha search widget, which can be inserted into any other page that you like. It can be a web page, it can be your VLE. So let's just give an example there. This one is one of our customers, Leeds City College, and they have a whole portal for their library and digital skills pages. So this is actually a Google page, and they have inserted their Koha search onto that page. They've also got a discovery service, so you can search either or independently as well. That was an example of a integration into a VLE. Book covers and carousels. So we've done a lot of these. Some of my previous examples had carousels on their OPACs. These, worth noting, however, that Koha itself comes with the Amazon link, so you can bring all your book covers in to your OPAC free of charge. That will just work for you. Or you could pay for an additional program which allows those images to then do a lovely carousel of displays on your OPAC. And we've done examples of Coverflow and Flipster quite often. This is a very quick and easy integration with Koha. Interlibrary loans, we have done quite a lot here, and there's more to come. So at the moment, we've got a very easy integration with the British Library document supply service. We've also got customers who use Rapid ILL as a service, and we're working to increase that to Rapido as well, which is the physical sharing service. We're also working quite hard on interlibrary loans to bring it up to the next standard, which will allow your library, your Koha library, to act as a lender as well as a borrower. And this would mean that all the protocols are in place behind the scenes to allow you to share between libraries. This is obviously something we want to do soon. It would be absolutely perfect for a lot of our libraries who can save a lot of money by sharing their resources between them. It will also come with a lovely set of interactive choices so that you can select, say, which of the local providers where that item is available will be cheapest, is the closest, will have it available the soonest, etc., etc. And that will be really open up worlds for you to do reciprocal borrowing between libraries. That is expected by the next upgrade, or maybe the one after, for Koha. Text and SMS and emailers, again, something I cannot show you because it would not be available on the OPAC. But we have done a lot of integrations here. These are examples on the screen of the types that we have connected up. We would always recommend that you have a look at the governmental scheme, though, because you get a lot of free text before, and then it is quite a lot cheaper per text if you go over the annual amount, which a lot of our customers don't. So PC and device loan, we have done these connectors as well. Net loan and ICAM are used extensively in our public library customers, and these are ways to loan out items such as laptops, or to book a PC, or to borrow an iPad, that sort of thing. And then in our academic customers, we have done a lot of connections to LapSafe and associated borrowing of laptops facilities. And the integration means that when that item is borrowed at source, it will also be doing an issue to the Koha system. So it's a way to track who has what. And worth noting as well that the loan periods in Koha allow for less than a day. So you could make sure that those items are returned at the end of each day. So just to say in general, there's a lot more integrations which I really don't have time to cover. But if there is a method, if the publisher or the owner of that extra software or item is open to it, if they have APIs available, then you can guarantee that Koha can link to it. This means that we never restrict what is available to you in terms of integrations. You will decide what is best for your users and will be of better value, unlike a lot of other proprietary systems that require you to only use ones within their sphere of influence. Often it's just a one-off integration fee, which will often be part of your initial migration or implementation. And if there isn't an API yet for the item that you want, we can advise you on the fee to develop one. And we have a very open and honest pricing policy of £1,000 per day plus VAT. So we will always quote you for what that will cost. And if you agree, we will go ahead and provide that development to make sure that you can have the integration that you want. Thanks for joining me today. I hope that was useful. As always, if you want to know more, please do get in touch.